ain't hear shit.
Finishes with the tip.
Diggs gets a much needed blow.
Going to be a wet and likely wild night.
Chain you up.
Oh, what the
You
fuck?
two just shut up.
Hold your fucking water. Are you not entertained?
Football's back, everybody, and you know football is back once King Henry is overruling everybody on the football field, this time in new threads. But Harbaugh decided to only have him run 13 times? Lamar ran 16. What are you doing? You're going to get him killed. The Chiefs also got a new weapon. His name is Xavier Worthy, and we can thank the Bills to giving him to them, because he's the fastest man ever in the NFL. Why not add more superstar power to an already great team? On the topic of superstar power, welcome back Juju to the Chiefs. Obviously, I'm joking. This dude still sucks. He had more TikToks than he did receptions. And Jim, are you seriously going to keep running screens? Get Mark Andrews involved in the game instead. Him and Kelsey had as much production as a one-star recruit in college football 25. All things aside, this game was fun to watch, except if you had to look at the putrid O-line of the Ravens, because they allow anybody through. And when I tell you ref ball is back, oh boy do I mean it. For some reason, Steven Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, is allowed to call timeouts on the sideline. That's not legal. But the Ravens are going to drive down the field anyways with a bomb to Rashad Bateman, and they're going to have a chance to tie this game and win it.
Chiefs rush 4. Lamar trying to make magic happen. Throw it end zone. Right way. 2 feet down. Yes! Touchdown! What a play!
He was a toe away. Almost won the game after getting injured the play before. You know, maybe if he had Deion Sanders' foot, he actually would have got the ball and got the touchdown. Well, let's hope the game doesn't ever end up like this again. We need someone to beat the Chiefs. Please. It's time for football in Brazil, everybody. Players slipping on the field, ref ball, 9-hour flights, everything everybody wants in an international game. And you thought ref ball was over the top in the last game. Oh man, I got something for you. You get a flag. You get a flag. Everybody gets flags. Game was played on the slip and slide that the Bears used for their sliding drills. Let's just hope nobody gets hurt in this game, because everything will be put the blame on this field. Oh, but man, was the quarterback play in this game horrendous. Jalen Hurts threw millions of picks, it seemed like. Jordan Love couldn't hit an open receiver even if he was 7 feet tall. It's obvious that the Eagles are missing Jason Kelsey, because why can't they transfer a snap properly? Oh yeah, have I mentioned Saquon's on the Eagles now, so he's finally escaped the hell known as the New York Giants. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, we got some ref ball. So you're gonna tell me this is a hold on Jair? Like seriously, he didn't do anything. And then this is a hold on Kenny Clark? Like, this is ridiculous. Whatever, just take your final chances, try to score here, and let's hope no one gets hurt. Oh shit. Jordan Love is down. Of course, a great game has to end like this. He's writhing in pain, and Malik Willis comes in, and the game's over. No way the game wanted to be ended this way. Unreal. After seeing that injury, fans and NFL people were just not excited to see what the result was. But thankfully, it's only a sprained MCL. Nothing too serious. He will be back soon. Probably a 3-week time frame. So, Packers fans, rejoice. Everything will be okay. You know Bills football is back when their fans are diving through Walmart tables, injuring themselves for no reason. And Josh Allen apparently is going to be just fine without his number one receiver and his other weapons. He is still cooking, and he is going to be an MVP frontrunner once again. But another Josh Allen turnover? I'm not surprised. But let's all sit here and appreciate the amazing choke job done by the Cardinals. They were up 17-3 going into the half, allowing the Bills to score 21 unanswered points. Maybe if Kyler would actually get Marvin Harrison the ball when he's wide open, this game would have actually been won by the Cardinals. And yes, there was a missed PI call, but there's also roughing the passer in quotes earlier in the game too, so it cancels out. Like, Josh Allen is actually a superhuman athlete. This stuff is, like, unbelievable. And on top of that, we got our first dynamic kickoff return of the whole season. I apologize for hating on it so much. It's a lot better. I like what I see from Arizona so far, but they need to figure it out on defense. So on the way to the stadium before the game, Tyreek Hill was seen getting detained and forcibly driven into the ground, handcuffed and handled so aggressively for just a minor traffic violation. This is why this was all over the news, but I guess the cop was Trevor Lawrence. He was then let go and arrived to the stadium safely and played in the game. So let's get to it. Name a better duo since Moss and Brady besides the Jags in choking. Once again, the Jags choke a game. If the Jags were able to play 2 quarters of football, they would be like the prime Patriots. But no, they have to choke every game away in the second half. I don't know if it's a second half adjustment thing or if the team is just incoherent to improvement. Once again, the Dolphins literally just play the game of football and watch the other team implode in front of their eyes, getting another win and not really having to do much. Well, at least Brian Thomas looked good, Jags. That's really it. I guess ETN too, but can you guys maybe keep a win? Fun fact, you're actually supposed to hold on to the ball crossing the end zone. Well, we'll just watch the Jags lose this game on a 52-yarder.
And the kick is up and it's going to be good from 52.
Jacksonville, just please don't do the same shit you did last year and choke every game. I doubt their fans can handle it. On the topic of choking, let's check in on the Titans. You had Bears fans almost wanting to bash their brains out. You even had Bears fans wanting to fuck everything. I think he should get that checked if he did so. But to no surprise, the Titans still find a way to be poverty. Bears draft pick played really well today. And no, I'm not talking about Caleb Williams. I'm talking about their punter. Say, Caleb, you said the punter isn't going to have to punt much, right? Well, how about you throw for over 100 yards before you say that? This was the equivalent game of 2 retards fighting. This was the worst quarterback performance in a game I've ever seen. Caleb Williams was literally allowed to just sit around and paint his nails on the sideline while Will Levis went in the game and blew everything up. Like, seriously, Will? This is some Kyler Murray divisional round shit. Like, did you really think that was gonna work? This game was the equivalent to a battle of which quarterback fucks up worse. And by the looks of it, fucking Chuck Will Levis is the one who lost. The Titans blew a 17-0 lead without giving up an offensive touchdown. What a joke. Hey, Carolina? I thought you were supposed to be better this year. This looks like the same team you put out on the field last year. You guys still are shit. Your O-line still sucks. Bryce Young blows. Nothing has changed. You guys went down 30-3 at half. The Saints literally had to do nothing. They literally just watched you guys implode and, just drove down the field. You got your own offensive lineman tackling your quarterback. Like, how much of rock bottom can it really get? Is Bryce Young cooked? Like, I don't know what's going on. And on top of that, Derek Brown tore his meniscus. So there goes your pass rush. I can't even believe what I just watched. This team is never going to get better. Maybe you guys shouldn't trade it up for this guy, because he hasn't done anything. See, I would give my props to Derek Carr, but this is the Panthers we're talking about. They didn't do anything. They gave up 47 points and did nothing about it. Derek Carr played well, yeah. I guess he played well enough where Rashee Rice would want to recklessly drive him, but I can't even just get past what I just saw from Carolina. This team is never going to get out of this pit that they're in. And I'm getting calls now that David Tepper is currently finding a fan to drop kick. Fix this shit, Panthers. I'm sick of watching this. Russ is out, Fields is in. Same ride, different car. And if there's ever been a perfect game to describe the Steelers, it would be this one. Score no offensive touchdowns, get nothing done on offense, and rely on the defense to do literally everything. Steelers scored 18 points this game. All of them were field goals. 6 field goals were kicked. Did Matt Canada ever leave? It doesn't seem like it, because this offense still sucks. Yes, Atlanta does have a very good defense, and Russell Wilson isn't playing, but I think Justin Fields did a pretty serviceable job. But still, there was no offensive production. I guess that's what happens when Arthur Smith is your OC. Speaking of him, it doesn't seem like he left Atlanta either, because their offense wasn't very good either. Kirk threw interceptions, and just didn't look good. Now the Steelers have to punt the ball in a close game, and their punter's injured. So in comes Chris Boswell to punt it off, and the Falcons are going to get another shot.
Cousins from a collapsing pocket throws an interception. Dante Jackson in his Steelers debut.
Alright everybody, let's all act surprised that the Kirk choke jobs are still here. Just because you change cities doesn't mean that your choke jobs are gonna go away. Good thing Atlanta's used to choking, because now you got a severe choke artist on your team. Enjoy him. Giants are debuting their 100th year anniversary jerseys today. Well, I guess might as well look how you play. Shit, this team is getting cooked by Sam fucking Darnold. Sam Darnold. I expected this video to need a separate game because I thought it was going to be so bad. I didn't expect Minnesota to come in and kick their ass. Only bad thing for the Vikings is that Jordan Addison came out of the game injured. Doesn't matter, they still killed the Giants. Now, do you want to hear a joke? The Giants paying Daniel Jones $40 million a year? Wow, Dom, that's a good joke. I hope it's not true. Well, I regret to inform you it is true, and Malik Neighbors is ready to get out of there already. He's gotten so bad that people are burning his jersey in the parking lot. Probably because he's had 5 touchdowns during his contract, 3 of them being to the other team. Panthers and Giants in Germany? That's what Germany gets for World War II. Finally, a game worth talking about. We got a division rivalry of the 2 best rookie quarterbacks from the draft class last year. CJ Stroud is still doing CJ Stroud things with the additions of Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs, who were huge pieces of this game. And then Anthony Richardson being Anthony Richardson, even though he was injured last year, throwing bombs and running people over. Easily one of the most entertaining games of the day. No one is surprised here. Only bad thing about this game is these defenses might be a concern for each team. But at the same time, it's still the first game, so I'm not going to overreact. These are 2 really good offenses, so you need an extremely elite defense to stop them. Going to be an exciting battle for the division this year, maybe even a wild card appearance. I can't wait to see what comes from them in the future. Cincinnati, when are you going to stop doing the same shit at the beginning of every season? Every first game or 2 or 3, you start slow, get your ass kicked by a team you shouldn't lose to, and you're like an embarrassment and everybody questions you. We all know you're a good team. You're just wasting your shot at a 1 seed by losing games early you should win. I don't know if it's a training camp thing or a preseason thing. It needs to be fixed. All props to New England though. They played one hell of a game. Gerard Mayo did one hell of a job, and the defense looked great. Ramondre Stevenson was great. Jacoby Brissett played well. Absolutely no complaints for the Patriots here. But for the Bengals, I already said enough. Maybe Joe Burrow needs to stop cosplaying as Slim Shady and actually play quarterback. Also, Jamar, you gotta score touchdowns to get a contract extension. FYI. I can't even lie to you guys. I didn't watch this game. I was putting together a video watching this game, but it started off very, very slow. Looked like snails trying to make it to another country. There's really not a lot to talk about in this game. J.K. Dobbins looked great. The Chargers looked great. The Raiders, on the other hand, not so much. They kind of looked like shit. Jimmy Harbs came in, got the job done, showing why he's a great coach for football. And it only gets me more hyped to see what him and Herbert and this offense is going to continue to do. And the rookie, Joe Alt, absolutely dominated Max Crosby. He didn't allow a single pressure on Justin Herbert. Let alone, he didn't even give up a sack. Like, that's crazy stuff from a rookie. They got themselves a star. And Lad McConkey, shifty dude, he looked great too. The most entertaining thing that happened in this game was a fight in the fourth quarter because the Raiders were getting their asses kicked. Jack Jones and Josh Palmer got ejected. Quentin Johnston and Max Crosby went at it. It was great. It seemed more like an MMA fight than an actual football game because fans were going at it too. And matter of fact, they showed more fight than the Raiders did. Maybe Antonio Pierce wants to get them in on the team. Another game where there's just not a whole lot to talk about. Baker looked great. 146 passer rating, 4 touchdowns. Mike Evans looked like elite. No shocker there. Jaden Daniels had the best rookie performance out of all quarterbacks today. Obviously, there was some stat padding because it was such an ass kicking, but it looks like the Bucs are definitely going to be ahead of the division again. I bet you the Browns are looking at their situation right now and asking Baker to come back, or wishing they didn't even get rid of him to begin with, because now they're stuck with known woman respecter Deshaun Watson. Sadly, Bryce Hall did suffer a dislocated ankle and fractured fibula, so he's going to be out for a good amount of time, but the Bucs are in a good spot, and the Commanders are showing potential. I'm excited to see what they got. Defense sucks, though. That needs to improve. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot to talk about during this game. The Cowboys just let the Browns beat themselves, and this was merely hours before Dak got paid $60 million a year, making him the highest paid quarterback of all time. Brandon Aubrey got to kick a 66-yard field goal, made it with ease, but there was a timeout called, and somehow Tom Brady was the second best quarterback on the field today, and he was in the booth. Says a lot about how this game really went. Good job, Cowboys. For the Browns, however, Njoku's hurt, so that is bad. Just like this offense. I'm being so serious when I tell you Deshaun Watson can literally just get his own video. Cleveland needs to just admit that they fucked up and they move on from Deshaun, because this is a failed experiment. This team is actually a competent quarterback away from winning a championship, possibly. Like, if they do not move on from him, hell, even put Jameis Winston in, this team is in a better place. Everyone saw what Joe Flacco did for them last year. Like, Deshaun Watson is not the answer. It's obvious. Watson isn't just a terrible quarterback. He's also a terrible person. Now, he's being sued again for more allegations. It's like never ending. Like, I can't even believe what I'm reading right here. This shit is ridiculous. What a freak. It's gotten so bad, his offensive linemen don't even want his help to get up. At some point during the game yesterday, he was 0 for 6, throwing 5 yards down the field or more. He had a 51 passer rating yesterday and had 2 picks. He's been a failure in Cleveland. And don't forget, he has $230 million guaranteed. They also gave up 3 first-rounders for him, which turned into Will Anderson, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. You think you fucked up? Baker Mayfield is tearing it up in Tampa. You took him with the first overall pick and you ditched him immediately. He was playing on an injury in your decision year, in quotes, so you could get this molester instead.
Here,
you think you fucked up?
hit me
Because
as
you
hard as
sure
you
as hell
can.
did. If you want to watch a game where you try to take your eyes out, here's a perfect game. I mean, for the first half at least. Both these offenses played like roadkill in the first half. The Broncos literally had 2 safeties accounting for some of their points. Then Seattle figured their shit out and absolutely steamrolled the Broncos. Bo Nix, my rookie of the year prediction, did not look very good. Given there is absolutely no offensive power and the running game didn't work, he still wasn't good. I mean, he didn't look as bad as Elway did in his first performance, so I guess there's that to look at. Kind of a boring game, but Mike McDonald gets his first win as a head coach, and Seattle is 1-0. What a game this was. Sadly, the Rams came into this game with absolutely no O-line, so the run game was going to be very limited tonight. This rematch after the wild card round was just incredible. Cooper Kupp resurged, Puka got hurt sadly, and the Lions' offense started kind of flat. Then more Rams offensive linemen got hurt, so then they started pulling in fans from the crowd to actually play O-line. Jameson Williams broke out, and Amon-Ra St. Brown did nothing. Maybe instead of focusing on the people drafted before him, he focuses on getting open. After both defenses and offenses battled it out, they went to OT. which Sean McVay saved all of his timeouts in the second half and didn't use a single one, which doesn't make sense. Then the Rams decided to say fuck this and just gave up and let David Montgomery own them in overtime. And then they lost. But I'm not concerned for either team. They both looked very good. They're going to be competing for the NFC this year. No question about it. He's back. The bad man has returned from his torn Achilles. Jets fans are now hoping that he lasts longer than one drive. Maybe 2 drives this time. Only time will tell. Will he play like he smoked 18 joints before the game? Let's tune in and find out. Hey, New York? You guys have a good offense now. That doesn't mean you drop passes every single play and your defense turns into Swiss cheese. Yes, the Niners are a good team, but this is nowhere close to the defense I thought I saw last year. Down goes Rodgers again to Leonard Floyd. At least he didn't get injured this time. The Niners look like the Niners, still high-flying. Jordan Mason is a dog. Like, the Niners look the same. Even though CMC was out, Jordan Mason took care of the load, did a great job. And Brandon Ayuk, on the other hand, played like poo-poo garbage, dropping everything. Ever since he signed his contract, he looks like Quentin Johnston. And the Purdy hate is no longer. This dude can throw the ball wherever it needs to be thrown. Stop hating. But back to the Jets. You have a competent quarterback now. Can your defense actually play proper defense? That would be great. You have a legit chance of winning the AFC East, so don't go pissing it away now. You have the best roster in that division, not even a question. So stop fucking around and get it done. I know it's only week 1, but figure it out. And it's time for our train wreck of the week. This award goes out to the biggest train wreck of the week. It could be a player, it could be a team, it could be whatever. Here are our nominees. The Panthers, Daniel Jones, and Deshaun Watson. And this week's winner and the first ever train wreck of the week goes to Deshaun Watson. Hey, fix that text. We know that's who he is, but his name is Deshaun Watson right now. Sorry, Deshaun. Even though you won, the winner does not receive a free massage, so stop asking.